afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Leeds View for the match reaction for Leeds United 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. It got a bit sticky in the middle that second half, didn't it? Just a little bit. We got the job done. Job done. Job done. Job done. And that is the most important part and most important thing to come out of that game today was the 3 points. Yes, we would have loved to have seen the performance that we saw in the first 26, 27 minutes carried on towards the entirety of that game. I'm going to check my mic today. There we go. We're fine. But outside of that, it's job done. 39 points, 9 points clear at the bottom three before Tottenham Hotspur kickoff tonight. So very close to being over the line. I still think 42 guarantees us safety. I would like us to get to that point, but it is still a big win. And it does put pressure on all of our relegation rivals going into the next couple of games. So we'll see where we are. Morning from Brisbane, 2 a.m. there. Yeah, with Steve Body. Obviously, Steve Whitesnake was on this morning at the watch along as well. 3 a.m. for him as well. So yeah, look, thanks to everyone that's watching tonight and today. Thanks for everyone who joined us in the watch along as well. By the way, on the score prediction, on the score ratings, the match player ratings, we're now using Finalysis as player ratings. These are the initial ones. These are not the final ones that we normally go through on the podcast or on social media on a Monday and a Tuesday. These are the ones that we've got currently right now. We are working with Finalysis on a bit of a partnership right now. If you could do me a massive favor, whether you're on an Apple device or an Android device, if you could download the Finalysis app using this code that's in the comment section now, and it's also pinned at the bottom of the description of today's video, top of the description, or you can scan that QR code on screen right now. That's my Finalysis tag. You can follow me on Finalysis as well. If you do that, though, it's completely free to do. Really appreciate it. You do me a huge favor if you did scan that code or use that code that is in the comment section to download the app if you haven't already got it. Give us a follow as well when you get over there. That would be massively helpful for me over the next couple of weeks, next 3 games. We're doing this partnership with Finalysis. So completely free. And when you do, you get involved, create your account, join the lead side of it, give your players ratings. They will add to these player ratings. So we're not using SofaScore anymore. We're using Leeds fan player ratings. And then we cover them on the podcast on a Monday and on a Tuesday. So you can get involved in the player ratings, have your say on it as well. So if you want to do that, I'll cover again towards the back end of this as well. Right, let's have a chat about the game. So it's a 3-0 win, puts us on 39 points. We're in a really strong position before we get into the rest of the games this weekend. Spurs obviously kicking off a little bit later on. We're watching that one with a lot of interest. If they do get a win in that game against Brighton, changes things slightly. If they don't, if they lose, we're in a very strong position, which would be fantastic for us. So, yeah, it's still an interesting day, still work to be done, but we're moving step by step closer. 39 points is a great points total to be on. Last season, we'd be safe at this stage, but, it's Leeds, so we're not. Bit of work still to do, but we're in a really strong position. So, yeah, great that we're in this position. Great that we got the 3 points. We are, as always, going to talk about the good stuff and the bad stuff. So we will talk about that period of second half where we did drop off. We're also going to talk about a really strong first half start that Leeds had. We came out of the blocks absolutely firing on all cylinders, which is great to see and definitely gave us the foothold in the game that we needed to get those 3 points. So, yeah, good job. And again, people will say it doesn't matter. It's just a win, and a win is a win is a win, and 3 points is 3 points. And I get all that, but we are doing a match review. So we'll review the whole match as much as we can. But yeah, some really good moments in that game. The goals were great, but Carl Darlow, by the way, Carl Darlow's not given an extension to his contract. I don't know what anyone needs to do. In the last couple of weeks, Carl Darlow has made some absolutely massive saves for Leeds United. That one today going the wrong way is a world-class save. So he's been brilliant in the last couple of weeks, as he was this time last season as well. So we'll start off with the start of the game or before the game, the talking points coming into the game. The talking points were, could Leeds do it against Wolves? There was that obvious little edginess that's always there with us Leeds fans, where it's a case of, well, beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. It'd be a very Leedsy thing to do to lose to Wolves in Elland Road. So that was always in the back of everyone's mind. We wanted to see the approach in the lineup. We got the same lineup. We got a similar approach. And it was great to see Joe Rodon back on the bench. His powers of healing, no bounds at all when it comes out to the end of the month, back in a week and a half. So great to see Joe Rodon back on the bench, and then great to see him back on the pitch later on. Some very strong performances for Leeds today. Some bit off performances, but ultimately the strength of the whole rather than the sum of the parts pushed through tonight. So great to see that. If you could smash the like button as well, that would be massively appreciated. Big help last week to everyone that did do that, because it does help to push the video and promote it. So very much appreciate that. The talking points then, the key talking points, I suppose, from this game for me were that first 25, 26 minutes from Leeds. It was outstanding. It was genuinely some outstanding stuff. Not just the tempo, and I love tempo, we know that, but not just the tempo, but the pressing from Leeds as well, the intensity of the pressing, the speed at which we were moving in the ball. And when we didn't get a goal, we followed up straight away. Very similar to the first half against Manchester United. And it did. We could have been 3-4 up before we were, which would have been great to see. And we did get the goals, some nice goals. Well, Noah Okafor, a lovely goal. We'll go through that in a bit more detail in a couple of minutes' time. And also, obviously, the goal from James Justin, which was, fullback scoring an overhead kick. You think you're safe when you start seeing things like that happen. So, yeah, really, really good stuff there. The other talking point was the drop-off then. So we did get that drop-off, mostly towards the end of the first half, but then very much in the second half, Leeds seemed to be very happy just to retain possession of the ball, keep it slow. There wasn't a huge amount of movement off the ball, which was getting a bit frustrating. Alan Armstrong then scores a goal, and you're thinking, oh, well, here we go. Going to be tons of injury time added on here for the 15 and a half minutes it took for the linesman to get ready to come on the pitch. But the goal was ruled out, and ultimately we pushed on. We get a third down with the penalty from Calvert-Lewin. So when you look at the scoreline, it says 3-0. When you look at the points on the board, it says 3 points. It doesn't really matter. But you do wonder why that drop-off is there and why it happens. And people will say maybe we're conserving energy 30 minutes into a first half and we start to conserve energy. At 2-0, 2-0 is a really dangerous scoreline as well. Like, you're 2-0 up, they get a goal, it's 2-1, it gets edgy again. Push on and try and get the job done. I will say this about Wolverhampton Wanderers. That's a truly awful football team. Like, they weren't good. They are not a good side at all. Some of the moments in the game from most of their players passing the ball out of play. Now, we had a couple of them, but passing the ball out of play unopposed. Yeah, not a good second half of a match to watch, to enjoy anyway. It was a really poor second half all around. But again, we did enough to get through. That's all we get asked for. Individually wise, Carl Darlow for me, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant today. Does what he has to does what he has to do very well, and then makes those big moments, those big saves as well. So huge game from him. James Justin at right centre back, very good today as well. Yacobiol handled Alan Armstrong for the most part. You'd expect him to do that one moment maybe in the game. Pascal Struijk, really good today. Really solid today. It was great to see that from him. Very, very strong. Gabby Goodmunson, thought was excellent. I think Gabby just gives me everything I want in football. He drives when you need to drive. He keeps it simple when he needs to keep it simple. Thought Gabby Goodmunson was excellent. We had the Leeds Supporters Trust vote for Player of the Year this year, and I really had to think about it. I wasn't sure who to vote for, and then out of consistency, I ended up going for Gabby as the Player of the Year. Jayden Bogle, really good first half when the tempo was high. Second half, gave the ball away an awful lot. Bit sloppy in possession. Overcarried it at times as well. Not his best game in a Leeds shirt against the poor side, but very good first half. And I think when the tempo was high, I think it suits Jayden Bogle's style of football. But I think when it comes down, maybe that's when maybe he's trying to do too much with it. Maybe I could be overthinking that a little bit, but there was that. But I didn't think it was his best game. Ethan Ampadu, quiet and tidy, went about his job today. Outanaka, really good when he needed to be, very tidy in possession, kept the ball moving quite well, doesn't lose a huge amount of possession, nips in, good one-touch football. Really good involvement. I'll be using the word good this week, but really good involvement for the penalty shout. It's a lovely pass. Groove gets it to him. It's a lovely pass from him to Nanto to set him away. Very clever football there as well. Noah Okafor first half, absolutely brilliant. Excellent game by him again. Scores the goal again. Lovely finish, but dangerous. Caused them problems, pushed them back. Brendan Aronson, work rate today. Got a little bit annoyed when someone kicked him in the leg. I'm okay with that. I can handle Brendan Aronson getting a little bit tetchy with people. So absolutely no problem at all there. And Calvert-Lewin, look, tough game for him. A lot of solo running, a lot of laying the ball off, a lot of players dragging out of him, but does what he has to do. Makes a lot of decoy runs. He's very unlucky at times as well. Position I thought today was very good from wide areas, getting between the centre halves. Didn't always land at him, but I thought his movement was very good to get into those positions, staying central as much as he could. So good game for him. Gets his goal as well. Relieved for him to get a league goal as well after a while. So 12 goals, I think it is for him now this season. So yeah, what did the analysis give it? It was the vote was no Okafor with the man of the match there, but yeah, Carl Darlow with an 82. By the way, as I said, these are the Finalysis score ratings on your screen. If you want to get involved with this, you can. There's a link in the chat and in the description, or you can scan the QR code that's on screen. Now, set up your profile. It's completely free. Join the Leeds group. We have to join the Leeds group. Just put yourself in as a Leeds United fan and you're in. My tag is there if you want to follow me. And then you get to input that. You've got between today and tomorrow to get your scores in for the players. And then Monday night on the podcast, we will give the final player ratings and the Finalysis man of the match, which is voted for by Leeds United fans and Leeds United fans only. No pundit nonsense. Also, we've got a partnership and it would help me out massively if you could scan that code or use the comment in the link in the comment or the link that's just down below the video in the description to go and download it from there. That would be massively helpful. So we appreciate that. But yeah, get involved in this. Get your ratings in. These will be our ratings moving forward on this show. That's the initial ones. They won't close this until 24, 36 hours, maybe tomorrow afternoon. They'll close it. So get involved in that. Statistics-wise, it's a dominant enough performance from Leeds. Over 50% possession, big chances, very much in Leeds' favour as well. 2.7 on an XG from 3-goal game. You'd expect that. But yeah, some really, really good moments. Overall, fine. Job done. That has to be what the general comment has to be. I don't love the drop-off on conserving energy parts, but it is what it is. Job was done. But an awful game of football in that second half. First half, really enjoyable. Second half, an awful game of football. Both sides contributed, but Wolves, not great at all. And the referee, comment on the referee. No real comment on the referee. Just 14 minutes to get a linesman wire. It was like they were building a transformer on the sideline to get him in the game. It was like watching them at the wires he's been plugged in with. Why aren't these guys ready for this? So yeah, that was the only one. Adds on 10 minutes, which adds to the nerves as well. But go through it. First half, out of the block. We could have been 1-0 up in 30 seconds. And it's a stretched one. Okafor gets in behind. Ball comes across. Cavalier stretching for it. Keeper makes a save, gets close to him. 8 minutes in, Leeds get another chance. Corner kick, which was flicked on. I think it was flicked on by a Wolves player. And then James Justin's coming around the back post and he has a header. And there's a real signal of intent in that first 8 minutes that Leeds were going to keep going at them. They just weren't giving up. The whole Leeds team in their half pressing and trying to put pressure on them. It was absolutely massive. Then we get 13 minutes in. Leeds got another chance. A corner again. The set pieces, by the way, today were really good from Tanaka. We didn't necessarily score from all of them. We created chances off of nearly every single one of them. This corner comes in. It's flicked on by Stroke. It goes all the way to the back post and Calvert-Lewin is stretching and he gets it back across the goal. Yakibial's like inches, millimeters away from getting a toe on it and putting the ball into the back of the net, but it goes all the way through. It's cleared off the line. And then the 17-minute Leeds get the breakthrough and get their goal. Another corner kick. Bial got his head on it. Ampadu gets a touch on it. And it's a fantastic save, by the way, from Bentley in goal. It's a really good one-handed save. But as it goes out, Okafor flicks it over his head and James Justin does a bicycle kick and scores a lovely goal for him, 1-0 to Leeds. 26 seconds later, Leeds made it 2-0. Again, they didn't ease off. Leeds win the ball back in their half. Aronson reads the interception really well. The ball's played forward. I think it was by Bial. And Aronson runs onto it. And Aronson's pass low across the goal is a beautiful pass around the back line for Noah Okafor to run onto at the back post. And then a lovely, clever finish from him. Right foot inside the post. Sells the keeper. Beautiful finish, 2-0. And then that's pretty much it. Leeds go into conservation mode. Leeds go into a battery saving mode and try and keep the possession then. And Wolves got a chance in 38 minutes. They had a corner kick. Header was cleared by Bial. And the rebound was then cleared off the line by Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's making a real name for himself as a bit of a defender for Leeds United in the last couple of weeks. The positives that came out of that first half were that press from Leeds in that opening 26, half an hour. That starting press was brilliant. It was really intense. Love to see that. The counter-attacking speed that Leeds were putting in that first half was excellent, which was great. The negatives, we dropped the tempo after we went 2-0 up, sat back a bit. We gave them a few opportunities that we didn't need to give them if we kept pushing forward. And for me, there was too many touches on the ball. But overall, they started the game in the right way on the front foot, pressed on. Second half, you wanted to see the same thing. Was the drop off the players or was the drop off an instruction? Would they come out in the second half with a bit more intensity and have a bigger go at them? And the answer was no. We were going to just, again, stay in conservation mode, try and keep the ball, try and take the sting out of the game. And the first set of notes I have on this, 50 minutes I wrote down, Leeds intensity has dropped, no movement off the ball, passive passing, no press, winning second balls, and no desire to get forward when we won it. And maybe there's a part of that that's understandable. Like they've had a big game at Old Trafford that they've won. They put a huge amount of energy into that. And maybe they are trying to conserve some energy between now and the end of the season. So maybe there's something in that. They got a midweek game as well to look forward to. So maybe there's a smart move in that. It doesn't make great viewing. 60 minutes, I said the exact same thing. Still the same by Leeds. No movement on the ball. And then Wolves started to get a couple of chances. And then this is where the heart rate goes up and you think, we've sat back for too long now. They get a goal. It's only 2-0 win. The nerves will start to go. And they got a chance. Corner, free header. and a really good save from Carl Darrow. This was a game turning moment. That goes in, this could be a different game. But Carl Darrow's going the wrong way. He's going across the left of his goal. It's headed back to the right, and he flicks a strong hand over the crossbar. Absolutely fantastic save by Carl Darrow. Then the changes from Leeds, early changes from Daniel Farke. Willie Gnonto coming on for now with Okafor, 66 minutes, so before the 70th minute. Then Wolves got another chance. Bueno down the left-hand side, plays Gomez in, and he's an awful miss. Like, he should do a lot better, and he probably should get a shot on target, but he puts it wide. Then they score in the 82nd minute. So there's a big gap between 69 and 82. Nothing happened. Nothing happened in that time. Adam Armstrong ran through on goal, thinks the ball past Carl Darlow. He's offside. Goal doesn't count. Then 85 minutes, Leeds got a chance. Jaden Bogle and got forward ball to Gnonto, touches the ball, long ball far from Bogle. It's touched by Gnonto, and just Pascal stroking the penalty here, and he hits it with his left foot and hooks it wide. 91 minute. I wrote down, this is an absolute dire second half to watch. What a difference 2 halves of football can make. Because it wasn't a great second half. And then 92nd minute, Leeds get the penalty. And this was a lovely move again by Leeds. And Willie Gnonto, when he came on, tried to drive a bit more tempo into this. But Gruev wins the ball, gives it to Tanaka. First time ball from Tanaka around the corner for the run of Gnonto onto the ball in front of him. And then Gnonto plays Calvert-Lewin and he gets fouled penalty. Great penalty from Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin makes it 3-0. Leeds wrap it up and win the 3 points. So yeah, big win for Leeds. As I say, puts us 9 points clear of the relegation zone at this point. Spurs will be kicking off soon. We'll see how that game goes. But as it stands right now, Leeds United are in the driving seat. 2 wins in a row, back-to-back wins in the Premier League for Leeds. We will jump into your comments and we will see what you're all saying. We'll work back from some of the more recent ones. I'll stick my glasses on for this. So 85 cents for a thing is out. Thanks for joining us again, mate. I think easing off in the second half on the early shows were Daniel Farke at last managing a game from a winning position. Charles Bradford says, personally, in my opinion, we are up. I don't see Spurs getting more than 6 points. We keep on. We could maybe end up mid-table. We're very close to Newcastle now as well, aren't we? Pierre says, Jared, do you think the shutdown is Daniel Farke instruction or Wolves waking up? I think there's probably a combination of the players conserving a bit of energy, trying to keep the ball. I think there's a combination of Daniel Farke trying to manage the game a little bit. And there's a combination of Wolves trying to up the game and get into it again. So, yeah, a combination of all 3. So, question is, what type of team do you put out against Bournemouth? I think you play every single game the way we've played it in the last couple of weeks. I think you go and attack. Bournemouth will attack you. Bournemouth at home will have a go at you. And Leeds are better when teams have a go at them. Then open space and Leeds can counter-attack. So, yeah, I'll be okay with that. Lino went for a dump. Yeah, he did. Come on, Brighton, make my day. And Brendy looked up before passing. Well done for another assist. Yeah, he gets another assist, Brendan Aronson. Good stuff for him. Offside goal. Yeah, he was offside, so we're okay with that. We're okay with the offside goal. Ronnie says, to those who are all Farke, everybody has their weaknesses. If the Wolves goal stood, then they would have scored a second. Sitting back cost us 7 points. Look, again, it's personal preference at this point. The job is done. Daniel Farke, and I've made my position clear on Daniel Farke over the course of the year. Daniel Farke's job is to keep Leeds United in the Premier League. Right now, he's doing the job he's been asked to do. That's where we are. It's black and white for me. Watching Wolves, there are so many pointers as to why they're going down. They're dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. PBDS. Was at the game. Did the linesman pull a muscle? I think he did his calf muscle. I think that's what they were saying. It was a calf muscle. Marcelo says, I think Krejci was actually hurt when he fell. I think he got pushed in the back and his head snapped back. So even if it wasn't his head, hit by Tyson Aronson. Yeah. Sven says, if Brendan pushed me, no one would know. I would say anything. I don't think he was expecting the push in the back. I think that's what more of what it was than anything else. Thanks, Jer. Love it. Cheers, Simon. Subs, Finalysis done. Yeah, if you could download Finalysis using the QR code on screen, scan it with your phone. That'd be amazing. I really appreciate that. Or if you're on your phone, there is a pinned there's a comment, and there is also a line of text below in the description. My words aren't working right now, but you can get involved in that. But I would appreciate that. It's a huge supporter for me right now for the next 3 games. If I can get people to download Finalysis, it's free. It would help me. So moving on. Where were we? Here we go. Jonathan, right. Do we have permission to party if Spurs lose? Absolutely, I think we do. Big Lee announcing the linesman substitution. Love it. PBDS going to Wembley. You're going to Hull, Lincoln, and Spurs. Nat Rawson says, I would love for Leeds to sign Mane. What a player, only 19. Yeah, he was good and he's strong, isn't he, for a kid? For a 19-year-old, he is strong. Playing dominoes, wouldn't object to us taking Mane. Yeah, again, people talking about Mane. Yeah. Stesco says, just need Brighton to do the business now after only a 4-day turnaround. I think we got tired second half. I think got tired in the first half. United are back. Yes, we are. We are back. No, 2 goals. The scum brought him the confidence to score again. Darlow, my man, the match. 4 games in the Premier League now, only 1 goal conceded. Defense has been massive this season. We're talking about recruitment. The defense has been really good this year. First half, 2 goals in the South Stand. Second half, none. But that's great. Clean sheet. Matt Rawson says, I feel that the joint weight has been lifted. I really love this team. They play so hard and give so much. I'm happy that they get the results to show from their efforts. Thank you, Jared. No problem at all. Yeah, this team has got a backbone. I've been saying it for a while now, and I love their effort and their character. It's really good. Mike says, we have definitely matured as a Premier League unit and still getting better. Nigel says, our world-class manager and our classy team do it again. Well done, Daniel Farke and our fantastic team. MOT, bring on Chelsea. Yeah, absolutely. Carl Darlow, number 1, no probs. Nigel says, why do they keep mentioning it's between us? I know, right? I mean, it's really irritating at this stage, isn't it? I think they think the others will are on a run, but we're on a run now. I mean, ignoring just league form. Like, Leeds haven't lost in the last 6 matches. We've won 1, 2, 4 of them. 1, 4 of our last 6 in a row in all competitions. Marx has signed Darlow up for very least to be motivated as a reserve keeper who toppled 2 first-choice keepers in 2 seasons. Yeah, he absolutely has. The unrepentant anarchist says, we're only 3 points off Newcastle. We are, yeah. And they're away to Arsenal next. Who knows? Rodon is not human. And if you could smash the like, that would be appreciated. Thank you very much. Martin says, always better when going forward. And I completely agree. Pascal is getting better and better. I think the system suits him so much. Barry says, like your show. Thank you, Barry. Appreciate you being here. Andrew says, keep it going, lads. Darlow, I think, has been the change that changed the season. FA Cup final, day out will be nice and greedy. I think Carl Darlow has been fantastic and another 3 points looking good at the right end of the season, says Stephen. Niall says, Biot is a class player. When the rest of the team were having a snooze in the second half, he was so focused. I love him. I love him. I think he's our best defender. Out and out defender. Free Falling says, I believe the decision to keep Farke next season has sort of been made. Yeah, there was a report from Team Talk during the week that has been made. We'll see what happens next. Carl Timpson says, keep the same team if possible. 2 fantastic results marching on together. Jameson says, whiplash. That's for the Craigie incident. Listen, Craigie annoyed me when Ireland played the Czech Republic, assuming it's the same Craigie. I think it is. So, yeah, I wasn't too sad to see him go off the pitch. Now, Rawson says, this Leeds team is so mentally stronger than previous sides. Professionalism, maturity, quality cannot be undervalued. Let's put the crazy Leeds days behind us. I would agree. Who is P says, we need to stay in at least 15th. The gap between 18th and 15th is at least 10 million from a PSR. Yes, 3 million every position you finish higher. So that's big as well. You need to go for more money. Newcastle to 14th and an FA Cup final gives an extra 15 million quid. That'd be huge, wouldn't it? Ashley Buckland says, another great first half, but man, what is going on with us in these second halves? But what a time to get to back-to-back wins and the momentum right now. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's exactly where my head sits with it. It's like, why do we drop off? It'd be great if we didn't, but maybe there's other reasons for it. Marcus says, praying for a Brighton win to the disrespect Forest fans have for Rodon is crazy. Yep, the whole team raised that game. And Joe says, great result. A shame we sat back and let it die again, but ridiculous save from Darlow. JJ steady and solid again. Underrated signing. I don't think he is underrated. I think we all know exactly what he's rated at. Signing the season so far. Great show. Go on Brighton. And then Steve Brown says Leeds are on their longest unbeaten away run ever in the Premier League history. And we get something at Bournemouth. Yeah, bingo. Those draws are starting to look good now, aren't they? They really are. Right, folks. Look, I think we'll start wrapping it up. Free Falling just says first back-to-back win of the season for us. Great to see you. Right, we'll wrap it up because I know everyone wants to go and watch the Spurs game. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you could download the Fanatics app, get involved, make your ratings. We'll have them on the podcast on Monday. Scan the QR code on the screen there, or use the link in the description to support me and give me a dig out with this. I would very much appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day and the weekend. Fingers crossed Spurs lose, and we'll see where we are come Monday night at the reaction. We got Sunday sessions tomorrow with Alex as well. Don't forget that for members. If you want to get involved in that, be free on the audio in the afternoon for everyone else. But the live stream will be for members tomorrow morning usually around 12 o'clock. But I'll let you know.